Leverage's Breaking Barriers series, where we showcase local women business leaders and their stories of resilience, success, and growth. I'm Shelley Bell, Senior Account Manager here at Leverage, and we would love to introduce you to Kristen Kosidowski, the founder, leadership and executive coach, authorized DiSC partner, and consultant at the Mindset Engineer. With over 20 years of experience in roles spanning from quality engineer to director of people strategy, she has always been driven by a passion for understanding the mechanics of success. That's why when Kristen experienced a season of burnout, often feeling anxious and unfulfilled, she discovered a new passion, coaching and guiding individuals and teams toward their highest potential. With this new career path in mind, Kristen founded the Mindset Engineer, where she integrates proven coaching strategies with mindset shifts to spark innovation and growth for executives and their teams. We are incredibly excited to welcome Kristen to our Breaking Barriers series. Thank you so much, Kristen, for joining me today.
Thanks, Shelley. I'm happy to be here.
All right, let's dive in. Please tell us about yourself and your background.
Yeah, so my background is, I guess I went to school for mechanical engineering, started on that path. I actually started my career at Caterpillar, which was an amazing experience in technical marketing because I knew I had a background in engineering, but I always knew I didn't want to be designing in front of a computer. So I did that, which led me to quality engineering roles. And I moved to the automotive industry in quality engineering, program management, account management. And then later in my career, I shifted into more HR roles to basically move in the direction of coaching. At that time, I found coaching and I knew it's what I wanted to do and pursue. So I was able to do that in a corporate setting for a while, which was really cool.
Sure. So those experiences gave you kind of the mindset of where you wanted to see your career go by having those different positions. It just gave you that experience in all of the different areas of, upper level management, especially in manufacturing.
Oh, yeah. It was really, looking back over my career, I think how none of it made sense when I was in corporate, going from quality engineering to director of people strategy, account manager. I just thought I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do when I grew up. But now it's one of those things where, it always makes sense when you look back. Now I look back and connect all those things and see how each of these roles, and the teams I was on and the, executive teams that I was able to work with, how it really positioned me for where I'm at today.
Sure. So in addition to the experience and the people that you've experienced your career with, what would you say inspired you to find the Mindset Engineer?
Really what inspired me to start my own company. I never saw myself as entrepreneurial or thought I would do my own thing. Really it was my family that inspired me to make this move. I knew I loved coaching and I really wanted to focus in on that. But then also I have 2 little kids and I wanted freedom and flexibility to show up as a mom and as a wife. And, I was picking them up late from, surround care after school and all these things. And I was just really burnt out and stressed. And I just thought, there has to be another way. And I have a daughter who, that was her baseline. And I just realized I'm like, I want more for you. And this is what you will think is normal. So that really inspired watching her, really inspired me to kind of pave my own path.
Well, as another working mother, and as many of our current clients are as well, either women business owners or, working mothers themselves, kudos to you for taking that leap of faith, and if anything to me and to, everyone here at Leverage, you're obviously a testament of, doing, what your gut says is right. So just kudos to you.
Well, thank you. Yeah. I mean, it definitely wasn't easy. I was in a coaching program and they're like, yeah, how are you? How are you so fearless? And I'm like, oh, I'm not. I was like, I think it was, I just did it, scared out of my mind. And, just had the faith to know like I'm doing this, to serve my family and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's definitely inspiring. How is your career coaching style different from others in your industry?
Well, my coaching style, it blends coaching and coaching tools, but then it also blends business strategy and execution strategies that I know work. I've built teams, I've been part of teams. I've had a lot of the stresses and concerns and issues that the leaders, I'm working with have experience. So I really come in, I think, with practical, I played the game. I'm not just a
Right.
coach. I've been in the game for a long time. And I can bring to the table methods that, I've tried myself, I've used, and I know really help me and can share them with my clients.
Sure. Well, and I know that your experiences with your past employment, but in addition to the launch of the Mindset Engineer, what would you say helped build your flagship program, the Leadership Lab?
Really what helped me build that program is, noticing the common issues that teams have. And I
Mm-hmm.
think in organizations, people have a tendency to think, oh, we're the only ones that have this, everyone else must have it figured out. And I think the reality is, we're all kind of broken people trying to do our best and figure it out. And so, there's just really common issues that teams have relative to communication, being able to have healthy conflict, delivering
Mhm.
feedback, building a team that trusts each other. And then also being able to prioritize, between our phones and our email and all the things. I think people's attention is our most important asset, and how do we as leaders show up and kind of getting over that. I don't believe you can manage time, can't
Right.
manage time, but you can manage your attention, you can manage your priorities, you can manage your energy. And so
Mhm.
just working with clients along that line too. So really just bringing, I guess, practical experience that I think most teams struggle with in one way or another.
Sure. Now, can you go into a little bit more detail of maybe some of the steps incorporated within your leadership lab program?
Oh, absolutely. So my flagship program is built on one monthly group workshop as well as individual coaching with the team members that are part of it. So I think between having the group focused workshop every month,
Mhm.
and then also the individual session to kind of work through it, to apply it to their own life. And then also the program has a bias for action.
Sure.
These aren't, I don't come in with hypothetical, um, kind of woo woo methodologies. Not that there's anything wrong with that. There's great coaches that do great work. But that's just not my style. Mine is more, all right. So, from what we talked about today, what are 2 or 3 things that you can implement in the next 2 weeks?
Right.
And what will that look like for you and your teams?
Mhm.
And so it's really, I think, that bias for action, knowing that, no one starts off as confident.
Right.
You don't start, I'm like, okay, so guess what? How were you riding a bike? Probably a
Mhm.
little wobbly.
Yep.
So when you start to try these things, you're probably going to be a little wobbly, and that's okay. So try it, test it, see what works, and iterate. And that's why my flagship program is called Leadership Lab, to imply testing and iteration and, test a hypothesis and try it again, really seeing what works and what doesn't, and figuring it out for each of the individual leaders in a way that's authentic to them.
Perfect. I love it. Thank you. What would you say is your favorite part of owning a small business? And what challenges do you experience as an owner?
Yeah. So I think my favorite part is the freedom and flexibility that it has allowed my family and I. And then also getting to work with clients that I just love. I mean, that's really the fun part. I've been able to work with a lot of people in my network, and their companies and teams. And it's just been such a privilege and an honor, to be able to do that. And then I would say, did you say the hardest part? Or
What challenges do you
oh,
experience as an owner?
I guess some of the challenges I experienced are, starting off, there's a lot of things that I'm, know how to do and, come with my skill set. And then there's other things I really didn't, like
There's
QuickBooks.
no manual.
Right.
There's
There's
no
no
manual.
manual. Yeah.
Yeah.
And EIN numbers and all these other things where there's a lot to learn. There's a
Yeah.
lot of, 1099 or 1499 monthly charges that
Yes.
had I known, well, I guess it's probably a good thing I didn't know because I probably wouldn't have gotten started. So yeah, it's just learning all the things about business ownership, I guess, but it's been good too.
Mhm.
I have no regrets.
Good. And you have definitely taken the proper steps in surrounding yourself with people who have been there,
Yeah.
and giving you some guidance to, help you along your way. And then eventually you'll be able to do that for future business owners.
Yeah, absolutely. And figuring out, I really am not skilled at building a website. So hiring leverage to do that and, just surrounding myself with, yeah, good people who have skill sets that I don't. And so, yeah, that's been challenging, I guess, and fun too.
Sure. Well, building off of that, what would you say your future goals are with the mindset engineer?
Yeah, so I've been thinking a lot about what that looks like for me. I feel like I started my company as kind of like this little startup
Mhm.
and, testing what works and just seeing if I could get it off the ground, and now I'm like,
Right.
okay, here we go. We
Right.
can do this. Yeah, so just thinking about what does business 2.0 look like? And
Mhm.
I'm getting some clarity around that right now. Eventually I would get to grow and maybe even be able to bring in like other coaches with me, maybe even people who are moms who also are dealing with the same challenges that I am, like they have gifts, and they're amazing people that want to use their gifts and they want to pick up their kids on time. And
Right.
so, I mean, that would be that is one of my long-term goals to be able to hire, um, and yeah, just build this out with other, rock star moms that can do a great job and also serve their families.
Oh, love it. Well, those are all the questions that I have for you, Kristen. Is there anything else that you would like to share or?
Um, yeah, I was thinking about this and it's yeah, just in terms of like starting your own business. A lot of people ask me like, how did you do it? Oh, I wish I could do that. Or, oh, I'm looking for something and maybe gonna like contort myself to make it work. And, anybody can do this. Is it easy? No. Is it worth it? Yes. And just really want to encourage people to find what works for them and just get clear on what you want. A lot of people are like, well, I think I could make this work for me. And it's like, no, get clear on what you want. I mean,
Right.
I looked through one of my journals from a few years ago and I found all these this vision of what I wanted to build. You know, I wanted a company that I could pick up my kids from school, and I could ramp down in the summer, and I could do all these different things. I had no idea how I was going to build that at the time. But really it starts with getting clear on like what you want and what you want to do and build from there.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Kristen. And it was such a pleasure having you on here today. And if you are watching and would like to join our digital community, we receive our monthly newsletter. Subscribe on Leverage Marketing's LinkedIn page. We'll put the link in our description, and we'll also link Kristen's website for more information and her marketing services. And thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to connecting with you all next month. Thank you. Thanks, Kristen.
Kelly, I appreciate you.